Are you planning a brand shoot for your business, but you aren't really sure where to start? In this video, I'm going to share 8 steps to planning your brand shoot and how to really maximize the time you have. So the first step is to do a brand analysis. You really want to know and get to know your brand and how you want to be perceived online, whether it's through your marketing channels or printed marketing materials or through email, website, blog, Pinterest. So you really want to take some time to figure out who your ideal client is, what are your core values, and who do you want to attract to your brand through your visuals? Because your visuals are everything. It's the first thing that people are going to see when they go to your website or your social media. So you want to figure out what your brand actually is, who your brand personality is, and how you want to come across. I have a free brand analysis worksheet that you can fill out, and it'll really walk you through the steps of how you can figure out what your brand is and what are your branding goals and how you can create these on-brand visuals to attract your ideal client. The next step is to set intention for the shoot. You want to make sure you know exactly how you plan to use the photos or videos in your marketing. And why is this important? Brand photos and videos can be a huge asset to your business. Your content can really take your brand so far, further than any pitching or cold emailing or cold outreach. It can bring and attract the ideal clients that you want to work with without you having to do and spend so much time trying to reach them. So if your visuals are on brand and you know exactly where they're going to go, whether it's your website, your blog, your Pinterest, your Instagram, email marketing, etc., you know exactly the type of photos you need, the dimensions, and what kind of story you want to tell through those photos. It's also going to allow you to communicate that effectively to your photographer so that they can help bring your vision to life. Write down exactly where you plan to use the photos, and are you launching something new? Are you rebranding? Are you creating this new digital product that you want to promote and you need photos for it? Set that intention, write it down, and communicate it with your photographer so again, you can really maximize that time that you have together at the shoot. The next step is my personal favorite, and that is to create a mood board. You can create a vision board of inspiration photos, videos, colors, and overall mood of the type of photos you want to attract. This is going to be super helpful to your photographer because they're going to understand what your brand personality is and how you want to be perceived in your photos and videos. So make sure you create a mood board. I personally like to collaborate with my clients through a private Pinterest board where we can add photos and colors and all types of inspiration for the shoot, and then really refine the type of photos that we want to create that relate to that intention and the brand analysis. So make sure you take some time to first create a mood board and pin any photos that you may have saved on your Instagram, maybe screenshots you've taken, or even browsing through Pinterest. You can take a look at my Pinterest board, and it has all of my portfolio work, all of my favorite photos from past client shoots, and take a look at some of the photos. I have them categorized by industry, and you can really find some great inspiration for your shoots. You can search through Pinterest, search for different keywords that relate to your brand. So if you're a fitness coach or you're a website designer, you may want to search keywords like website designer brand photo shoot or businesswoman photo ideas. Think of the type of keywords that would make sense for your brand and the aesthetic that you want. Maybe you want more light and bright photos. You may want to research or add those keywords of bright photos or bold colors in the search field so that you can find the type of photos that you're looking for. And then share that with your photographer. I personally like to create the mood board and share it with my clients, but if your photographer doesn't offer this, you can take the reins and create one for yourself and share it. And also make sure you're constantly adding to that board as inspiration comes to you during that shoot planning process. As you see certain photos that resonate with you and your desired branding, add it to that board. So when it's time to really prep for the shoot, you can have plenty of inspiration to pull from. Step 4 is to create a shot list. Don't skip this step because you could miss out on important photos and videos that you may need for an upcoming launch or some content that you want to really focus on in the next, let's say, month or quarter. So you want to create a shot list, and a shot list is essentially what it sounds like, a list of specific shots that you want to get during your shoot. So even though photography is a more creative art form, you do want to be strategic about the type of photos that you're creating. So a shot list is going to allow you to implement that strategy that you started working on with the brand analysis and the intention that you set at the beginning of this process. And some ideas that you want to add to the shot list are your business process. So what are those things that you're doing behind the scenes, whether you're working at home, working with a client, or things that you're doing on a regular basis that could be parts of your daily routine. And then you also want to add any resources that you are going to be sharing with your clients. So maybe you have a new template or you have a client guide that you send them. Incorporate those shots into your shot list so that you can have those visuals to then talk about in your content. And think about your business process as your services page. So what are some photos that you're going to need for your services page? Which package or service are you going to have on your website? And then what photos can really tell that story related to each service or each package? Also, you want to think about your about page, your contact page. What are some sales pages or your home page that you're going to need photos of? Take some inventory of what photos are already on your website if you're not starting from scratch, and what photos do you need to replace. Step 5 is choosing a location. And choosing a location can be a little bit stressful because you may be wondering, like, what kind of location is going to best resonate with my ideal client and my personal brand? So think about the types of locations that you're already hanging out or that make sense for the type of clients you're attracting. So some of the popular locations that my clients like are a studio, a styled home, a co-working space, or their own home office. Also outside, depending on the type of weather and the season, it may make sense for you to get some shots out and about at like a local hotspot or a coffee shop. So take some time to think about the type of locations that resonate with your brand. Maybe you want to come off as more relatable and more casual. You may want to consider a styled home. Or you could do a studio. It's a nice blank canvas where you can incorporate props, your outfits, and really make it fun and build the type of photos that you want. Or maybe you want to take the guesswork out a little bit and you want to shoot in a co-working space where there's already a lot of furniture and things that you can use and incorporate in your content. Some of my places to find location ideas are Peerspace. Peerspace is a resource, a website where you can find location specifically for photo shoot. You can search your city. You can find tons and tons of options in your local area that are photo shoot friendly. Another one is home studio lists. I love home studio lists because a lot of my clients do like to create lifestyle content. So you can find really beautifully styled homes in your local area. You can book them by the hour rather than booking an Airbnb where you may have to book it over a couple of days. And they always are adding new homes to their inventory. So I'm always surprised and excited to share that with my clients. Step 6 is incorporating props. Now, hear me out. My photos to look super cheesy. Okay, I got you. You can incorporate props in your brand photos without being cheesy. And what I like to encourage clients to do is incorporate their business tools as props. So if you are constantly on your laptop, maybe you're sipping your favorite matcha or your favorite tea or coffee, maybe you are writing notes in your notebook during client calls, or you like to use sticky notes. Those are the type of props you want to bring to your shoot so you can really tell the story of your business process, of your personality, your brand's personality, and how you like to work. You'd be surprised how interested people are in your day-to-day. So don't feel like it has to be a super cheesy way of using those props. Incorporate them in ways that make sense and in ways that you actually use them in your day-to-day. Now, if you want to incorporate props that maybe you don't use on a regular basis but make sense for your brand, I love to go and search at Target or Amazon. Maybe it's like some pretty pens that I like that are in my brand colors, or a nice planner or notebook I want to incorporate in some like stock photos or in the background of my photos. I will go and do a little bit of shopping. So I recommend searching in some of those spots. TJ Maxx is another one if you're looking for very affordable props that maybe you won't use again, but you want to incorporate in your brand shoot. Step 7 is choosing your wardrobe. And I know that choosing a wardrobe can be a little bit stressful because you don't know what to wear. Maybe you work from home and you're always dressed casual. Maybe you're wearing some athleisure or something more casual that you don't necessarily want to incorporate in your photos, but you want to look polished and you still want to look and feel like yourself. The first step is choosing a color palette, and you want your color palette to be relevant to your desired branding. So if you are getting new brand colors, maybe you're working with a brand designer, or you already have your brand colors established, you want to try to incorporate your wardrobe and the pieces that you'll be wearing with your brand colors. Now, it doesn't have to be the exact colors, but it does help with brand recognition and attracting the type of clients that you want to work with. I try to stick with maybe 3 or 4 colors so it's not too busy or too distracting, but it's still relevant, and also that matches the location. So you want to take a look at the type of location that you're going to be shooting in. So if the location has a lot of white and neutrals, you may want to add in a little bit of color so you don't blend into the background too much, and you can create a little bit of contrast. I always say if you can go lighter part of your color palette, that will work better than maybe wearing all black. But honestly, it's your brand. You can do whatever you want to do. These are just suggestions to really create the type of photos that you're going to love and want to post and share in your marketing channels. Another tip for choosing your wardrobe is adding layers. You want to make sure you have some layers incorporated, like a cardigan or a blazer or a lightweight jacket or a vest, or even tying a sweater over your shoulders. Maybe you want to wear a button-down shirt open with a bodysuit or a tank top under. Add layers because it is going to make your photos more interesting and really stand out. If you want to have these pieces long-term and you want to be able to wear them again, I would look for pieces that are, even if they're basics, that are good quality. And when I say good quality, it doesn't necessarily mean price point, although it may sometimes, but you want to make sure they're good quality so you can wear them again in different ways. The last step to planning a brand shoot for your business is practice posing. Please don't skip this step. I'm serious. Practicing your poses is going to make such a difference. It's going to allow you to show up confident at your brand shoot. Of course, your photographer is going to pose you. That's our job. Our job is to make sure you feel confident and look your best in your photos. But it really does make a difference when you take the time to practice your poses beforehand. So some ways that I recommend doing this is when you're out and about with your friends or your family, snap a photo, look up some inspiration on Pinterest or on Instagram, save poses that you like and want to try, practice in the mirror. You can see how you look in the mirror. Or what I like to do is set up my phone on the tripod and turn on the video and just do some different movements of me posing. It really does help to build my confidence, so when I do get in front of the camera, I don't feel like so shy by posing in front of the camera. It can be stressful already. So you can kind of minimize that a little bit by practicing your poses beforehand. So take some time this weekend or when you have some downtime and practice your poses. You will be so glad you did. It will make such a difference. You'll actually bring the most out of your photographer. Trust me on this. Don't hide behind the I'm not photogenic mindset. You can take yourself from being shy and being uncomfortable in front of the camera into being the most confident you've ever felt. And also, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. So if you're only doing a brand shoot once a year and you're not practicing beforehand, it's going to be really hard to build that confidence. Yes, of course, you can build off of your photographer experience and how they pose you, but ultimately you want to bring a little bit of confidence to the table as well. I hope this was helpful. Let me know which step in the process you're feeling more clear about and excited to implement into your shoot prep process. If you need help with planning your brand shoot, I would love to chat with you. You can take a look at my strategy call where we could go through that brand analysis, set the intention, and actually plan your brand shoot for this next quarter. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.